Peace and love for the cat people. I didn't think you left Warwick.
I don't like to leave Warwick unless I have to.
Bananas.
75 yards from shore and come across a great white shark.
75 yards?
Calls himself a Swiftie. Unbelievable. Every single day went and got hot wieners my entire senior year.
Oh, yeah.
You're not even qualified to vote on this.
I want to know what the people think. They're trying to sell the house.
Ding, ding, ding. Win a chicken dinner. I could go for some hot wieners right now. Welcome to episode 13 of Shootin' the SHT, Real Banter with Nick and JT. I'm Nick, and this is...
JT.
Welcome. Excited to be here today. Episode 13. Big number. 13,
Big number.
13 is one of my favorite numbers, actually.
Creeping up there. I could not go for hot wieners right now. I'm just full after the week we've had.
We had a good week, so let's go out of order. How was last night? We had a little Friendsgiving for the team last night. A little team giving. We should have called it team giving.
Team giving. I like
giving
that.
would have been better.
I was saying team Thanksgiving. Nate told me it was a mouthful, so we were just going with Friendsgiving.
I don't know.
But it was a good time. We had some catered turkey. We deep fried a turkey out back, or I should say Jay deep fried a turkey out back. Had a ton of food, some nice drinks, good times.
It was very nice. Yeah, it turned into a much later night than I thought it was going to. But it was a lot of fun. We sat around here until the wee hours of the... actually, it wasn't that late.
It was like 10:30 is what I heard.
Yeah. No, but I was like 3 or 4 hours later than I had told the wife I'd be home.
Actually, I was surprised. I went home and assumed I'd be getting the side eye, maybe a bit of a talking to, and nothing whatsoever. Just like, hey, welcome.
Yeah.
Nice to see you.
Yeah.
That means she's given up,
Basically.
You know what? I think...
which is preferred, I guess.
I was in trouble after the Christmas party last year because we were here till like midnight, and my phone was in my office the whole time. So Jen thought I was dead.
Oh boy,
because she had texted me like
that's not good.
Several times.
Have you been crying? It looks like you got a little bit of a tear.
My eye keeps watering.
What's going on with that?
I don't know. I'm so excited to see you, I guess.
Wow.
So last night I was actually responsive and home by I think 11. So anything beats last year's Christmas party, I guess.
Speaking of episode 13, I got home and the girls were live streaming the Taylor Swift show, and just in time to catch the secret songs or the acoustic set anyway. So that was pretty nice to walk into.
It's a nightly occurrence in your house.
13 is a big Taylor Swift number, you know. So I mean, I was kind of hoping to have.
Why is that? Why is it a big number for her?
She was born on December 13th, so I believe it's her lucky number. A lot of girls paint 13 on their hands at Taylor Swift shows. And I was also born on the 13th, not of December, but of March.
No big deal.
13's always been a special number in my heart, too. So
the more you know.
Yeah.
The more you know.
Absolutely. Let's rewind it a little bit beyond team giving.
Yeah, it's been a little bit.
How was Halloween? I think we're a little overdue for a pod. Why does Nate keep
Way
rescheduling these?
Anyways, not going down that rabbit hole.
What's wrong with that?
So Halloween was good. It was warm. I'm just looking back on it, and I was like, we were sweating, trudging around the neighborhood, but it was great. Hudson's first Thanksgiving, he was blippy, he was pumped.
Nice, that's a good.
Raced around the neighborhood. Okay. He got a haul.
Okay.
He had a pumpkin to fill, and he filled it. We had to keep dumping candy. Actually, I was pushing the stroller around for me and my high noons, and
you were partaking in high noons while walking your son, Blippy, around the neighborhood.
Don't get me started on you, pal. But he kept filling the pumpkin, so I had to keep dumping it into the base of the stroller and like carrying all of his candy for him because he had so much.
Sure.
But he went strong for hour and a half. He didn't want to go home.
Okay.
Yeah.
Exciting.
5 minutes before we got home, we left a bowl, of course, because we all went out, and it lasted until about 5 minutes before we got home. I could tell by the ring, and one group of teenagers, it looks like, or close to, finally just cleaned it out and dumped it, and I bet you it was the bandits.
Did you yell at them through the Ring camera?
No, I didn't notice until I got home and then went back.
I used to scare kids in the Ring camera when they'd come up to the door and I had the bucket out there. I only take one.
I'll have to remember that next
year.
year.
Yeah, it's good stuff. So I actually stayed home for the first time in many years. My girls are beyond that like magical Halloween stage. Yeah. And I had a friend of mine. We were hanging out. And it had to be the first time in like 14 years I've given out candy at the front door because I've been going out with my daughter since she was little. And it's been a long time, and I actually forgot the protocol. And so I opened up the door at one point, was a little flustered. It was like, what do I say? What do I do? You know, I got nervous, and anxiety was building inside.
You know, they're the ones that have to say trick or treat, not you.
Why do you blow the story? I mean, just like that.
The build up.
Wait. Did you open the door and say trick or treat?
Yeah, I thought we talked about this.
No.
So I opened up and said trick or treat, and it was actually some of Lucy's friends. No, you don't say that.
They dogged you for it.
And they made fun of me to her.
No, I did not
Second
know
graders,
that.
Second graders making fun of
I
Mr.
did,
Slocum.
you had not told me that, but that is ridiculous.
Yeah. So I mean, I wasn't thinking it. Just I forgot how it went, and quickly realized that, oh yeah, they say that. So it had been a long time.
You should probably go back to harassing kids from your Ring doorbell.
I probably should. That's my
Seems
sweet
to be
spot.
more your
That's my
ballpark.
sweet spot.
Yeah,
Yeah, for
yeah.
sure. Excellent. So that's Halloween. You had Blippi. My daughter was Belle.
Yeah.
My oldest. I don't know why she decided to be princess at 13 years old.
Surprised
basically,
she wasn't Taylor
That's
Swift.
cute.
I was surprised too. Yeah, I mean, a rap outfit would have been great. But anyway, she decided to go with Belle. I think all of her friends were princesses, which was interesting at their age, but it worked out. It was cool.
Sure.
And Lucy was Wednesday. Wednesday Addams. I gotta say, she killed it.
That's a good
Absolutely
costume.
killed it. Yeah, it was a
Yeah.
good costume. So she had the thing and everything. It was awesome. It was
That's
great.
super cool.
Yeah, it was. So there is Halloween, and the final piece of introduction on Nate's well put together agenda talks
job.
about Tay-Tay once again earning the 7th Album of the Year nomination for the Tortured Poets Department.
Well deserved.
Yeah, if she wins this, she's gonna set a record for the most album of the year
Oh, she'll set a
albums
record.
of all time.
Greatest pop star of all time.
She's going up against Beyonce, I think.
Ah, doesn't even hold a candle.
You don't think so?
No.
Okay.
We even named our AI
have no
assistant
opinion.
Taylor.
We did. And so we have an AI chatbot, which is actually pretty good. Not 100%, but it's pretty good on our website, our new website. And we get to choose the name. And, you're looking for like a unisex name that works either way.
Yeah.
And we had to go with Taylor. So
Solid.
Absolutely.
It's a
Great
solid
cho-
name.
great choice.
Yeah,
We
I'm,
didn't have to go
I'm
with-
pulling for
I
her.
know.
I'm pulling for Swift
Are you?
this year. Yeah.
Really?
I'm not a huge Beyonce fan. I do say
Did you just burp into the microphone?
I'm trying not to.
Oh, okay.
Go
Did
back
he
to they
just
still
say
doing
that
it.
Taylor's the less of two evils?
Actually, you know what?
That's terrible.
I did quite like Destiny's Child growing up, so I'm not ashamed to say
jeez.
that.
Really?
This is going
but
sideways.
I've never, I don't know, I've never been, you don't think Beyonce's a good artist though? She's amazing. She's
Not really.
She
Queen
is.
Bee. Everyone likes her, I guess.
I'm not going to say she's not, but
I'm pretty ambivalent about her.
Tay Tay.
I
She's
have stock in the
Diet
Taylor
Taylor. You know what I mean?
Swift. What does that make Madonna then?
I don't know. Taylor Light.
Taylor Light's what I was going to say.
All right, let's move
enough.
on. Let's talk about some real estate. Homeowners have gained about $150K in wealth over the last 5 years. This is a new article, just came out. It mentioned on Realtor.com that a typical homeowner accumulated $147,000 in wealth over the last 5 years, according to this report from my boy, the chief economist, Dr. Lawrence Yoon, in the latest quarterly report. 147. It's not bad.
Sounds crazy, but it's very believable.
Oh,
When
absolutely.
you think about the last few years,
For sure.
people, man, it's just every year.
And this is nationwide. I mean, think about even if you go like the median price point or higher, that number is skyrocketing over that. So
Oh, yeah, because averaging out, you have places where it's lower, but there's places where it's way beyond 150,000.
And according to their stats, that's an annual profit on average of $29,400 per year, nearly half of the average U.S. salary.
Well,
Pretty good. Pretty good investment.
Homeownership is a pretty good investment.
Not bad. Not bad at all.
You know what you would get if you were renting that whole time?
Zero.
Well, if you took care of the place, you'd get your security deposit back.
Oh. Great point. All right. Of all the single-family existing home sales in the U.S., 45.1% were in the South. However, the Northeast came out on top regarding home values with a 7.8% increase year over year, according to NAR. It was followed by the Midwest at 4.3%, the West at 1.8%, and the South at 0.8%. So once again, the Northeast staying
along.
strong, leading the market, leading the country in home value gains, just absolutely on fire with no signs of really of slowing down.
Chugging along.
I mean, I shouldn't say that. It is slowing. The rate of appreciation is slowing down, in my opinion, but it is certainly not going, following the trends of the rest of the country or going backwards. Nowhere close to that. I mean, 8% year over year, basically.
Well, you think about it. Quick side note, because I think also since the last pod was our trip to Texas. I don't know if we've done one since then.
Yeah. We haven't even talked about that.
And we did some
Lone Star State.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful golf course. But we made a
was.
lot of comments while we were golfing and looking just beyond the course
Sure.
of how many new construction houses were just stacked one on top of the other, on top of the other, on top of the other.
Mm-hmm.
And you talk to all these agents from across the country, and they're always asking about new construction, and we don't have much because we have nowhere to put it.
Nope.
So the only thing to do is to fight over what's currently here.
Speaking of that, I'm giving you my resignation letter now for 15 years into the future. Because I'm moving to Texas and I'm opening up a roofing company.
There we go.
Because all those roofs are going to get
he's
done
right.
at the same time. I mean, my goodness.
Hundreds and hundreds of houses just stacked on top of each other, all built at the same time.
Do you remember
20
the
years
show
when those
Weeds?
roofs go?
Yeah.
Like the little houses.
Little houses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like that. I mean, every house looked the same. Every roof was the same color. It was weird. Like, there was no character.
So there's that much homogeneity
Oh, yes.
between that, and
Oh,
they're
yeah.
all in very close. They're not literally stacked on top. They're like very close to each
Yeah,
other.
I got photos and videos.
But Texas is huge. Why such a huge concentration in one area?
Follow the money, bud. It's all
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
that.
So that you're saying that they'd all have to be replaced within 20
Yeah.
years, and you could make a killing off just that one area.
You could
That's
retire
genius.
off that one
That's
area.
genius.
So,
Yeah.
15, 20 years from now, I'm out of
Yeah.
here. Nice knowing you.
All right.
I don't know if I could live in Texas, though.
No, I don't think you'd fit in.
It wasn't my favorite. What does that mean?
Go
I
on.
think it's pretty evident.
Oh, really?
Go
I
on.
just don't think you're cowboy material.
I think I would fit in quite well in Texas, actually.
That's your opinion, man.
You gonna mute that or what?
Mute what? Shut up.
Take it back. He's got a little bit of edge.
Let's talk more about the Rhode Island market. So there's a recent report from CoreLogic. Now, this was a very interesting one, looking at home price insights from September 24, comparing that with the same time period last year on a month-over-month basis. Nationwide, home values increased 0.2%. Well, that was just over August, actually. So that wasn't year over year. That was just month to month. Let's see here. Where is the unique stat? September of last year to September of this year. I'm scrolling through the article. Figured John would have read this and prepared. Let's see here. Year over year, nationwide, 3.4% increase nationally year over year, according to CoreLogic, across the country.
Healthy number.
It is a healthy number, but do you want to know what might not be a healthy number?
Something closer to 10. I don't know. Maybe like 9%.
And where would that be, John?
Could it be
The drama. My goodness. Just can't deliver.
Rhode
on
Island?
it. Yes, it is Rhode Island. One state posted an annual home price decline. But that was not Rhode Island. The states with the highest increases year over year were Rhode Island, number one, numero uno. Had to give you that one. 9%. In New Jersey, up about 8.6% year over year. So according to CoreLogic, Rhode Island leading the charge for year over year home value gains. Why do you think that is, my friend?
supply and demand, as we were just talking about? Where are you going to build a new house here?
It's true.
You know, people.
Not many spots, right? I mean,
Demand.
there are lots here and there. I mean, I'm not saying there's no new construction, but there's not a lot of large developments. You know, you look
No.
at the one in Texas we were talking about, we did probably put up, I don't know, 100, 200, 300 homes in that
Yeah.
little plat.
I would say most of the new construction is like a one-off,
Yeah.
a random lot.
Most.
If you hear development, there's some developments
There's one
that
war
maybe
going in right now with the old school
Yeah.
over off of Buttonwoods Ave. Yeah.
there's some that are like 20 houses, but
Sure.
I'd say those are rare.
Yes.
Most developments, if you want to call it, is probably 3, 4, 5 houses.
Absolutely.
Whereas like the one in Texas is 3, 4, 500 houses.
Absolutely. That's where you get all those incentives regarding interest rates and whatnot. You know, get a little, maybe 4.5%, 5%. I don't know. It's what I was told from other agents, but certainly not. We don't see those kind of opportunities here locally. I'm trying to pull up our special guest here on the phone right now. All right, we are welcoming actually the very first non-real estate guest on Shootin the SHT podcast. Welcome to the show, Mr. Greg Scorpio.
Nick, nice to be here. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Anytime. John, do you want to introduce yourself? I don't think you've ever met Scorp, have you?
I haven't. I have no idea who I'm talking to. I've seen Scorpio in your calendar many a Fridays, but that's the extent of my knowledge here. So, Greg, nice to meet you. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, nice to be here. Thanks a lot for having me on. It's exciting. I've been listening to the podcast. It's riveting content, to say the least.
You're very kind. How much did he pay you?
Yeah, the check's in the mail, right?
Awesome. Well, Nate is here too, but we were just thinking like, hey, let's do 10 questions with Greg Scorpio here, and kind of highlight a local entrepreneur and successful business person.
Wow, on the spot, no prep, 10 questions.
10
Let's
questions.
do it.
You ready to go?
Let's do it.
All right. Let's start it off. First question. Give us some background. Who is Greg Scorpio? Not just the LinkedIn version. Let's hear some off the wall stuff about who you are.
Man, this was on the spot. Who is Greg Scorpio? Lifelong Rhode Islander. Lived here my whole life. Love the state. Love everything about this place. Do work in accounting, finance professional, CFO for the last 10 years. Come from a long line of accountants, blah, 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 all the boring stuff. Avid sports fan. Like pretty much can watch anything on TV. Probably all things sports related. I could attest to some sort of knowledge of. Everything except the Tyson Jake Paul fight tomorrow night. I know nothing about it.
That's something on Netflix, right? Live.
Yeah, I want to know nothing about it for some reason. I'm not interested.
Wow.
Big time golfer. Love the sport. I've always loved the sport. Always been around the sport. Father of 2 kids, twins, 6-year-olds, living in Cranston. Pretty much enjoy a lot of different things in terms of entertainment activities. I'm into a lot of different pop culture and TV stuff and movies. I'm a movie aficionado. Watched those for a long time. And can attest to a lot of nerdy stuff when it comes to that.
Oh, Nate's gonna love
Should we
it.
test his knowledge?
Later, let's get through the question.
All
This
right.
is only question number 1.
All right.
Ways to go.
Yeah, it's a pretty bland type of intro statement, but nonetheless, let's dig deeper.
I love it. So what are some of the pivotal moments, Scorp, that have shaped your journey? What made you you?
What made me me? Wow. I'd say one pivotal moment going backwards is when I came out of college and started working in accounting, and that is by far one of the dullest industries out there. Certainly interesting things that you work on, but the kind of stereotype around the classic CPA is that it's just not that much personality to them.
You
so
never struck
I
me
was
as a
kind
typical
of-
CPA. That's for damn sure.
There it is. That phrase comes across a lot. And I'd say one moment that kind of triggered that, let's say, burst in or change in personality or even leadership and management styles. I started coaching youth hockey when I was about 24, 25 years old. All right. And I go back to that. The two aren't related. Accounting and coaching youth hockey aren't related, but finding a voice, if you will, having the confidence to sit in a room, whether it be with kids who are 12 years old or even parents of those kids who are obviously more passionate about what those kids are doing than they are, kind of triggered this voice and this confidence that I still have today. It allowed me to kind of speak publicly. It allowed me to give direction. It allowed me to develop strategies and see those things execute as it mattered for youth hockey. And if you kind of apply that kind of thinking to other things in life, albeit on a smaller or different level, it really gave me the confidence to say, hey, I can manage a bunch of people. Hey, I can give a public presentation, or hey, I'm confident enough to be a part of this boardroom or conference table and speak my mind and have confidence in what I'm speaking. So I go back to that event as a big trigger.
If you can win over 12-year-olds, you can win over anybody, I think.
That's what they all say.
It's fantastic. All right, let's jump into G-Form a bit. So for those at home who don't know, what does G-Form do?
G-Form is a impact protection company headquartered out of Providence, Rhode Island. So what we do is we make foam padding. And that padding right now has applications mostly in the sports category. So the main products are knee and elbow pads, soccer shin guards, elbow guards for baseball players, knee and elbow guards for mountain bikers, the padding that goes inside of helmets for bike helmets, for baseball helmets, padding that goes on gloves. If you watch a lot of baseball, you'll see these guys stand in the batter's box with elbow guards on, and look for that little G in it. It's pretty unique. There's not a whole bunch of players wearing it because we're a small company, but that'd be the most visible place you'd find G-Form. It's sold on Amazon. It's sold on gform.com. It's sold in Dick's Sporting Goods. And we have IP on the actual foam that hardens on impact, is washable, flexible, and light. And if we take those designs right now and we're putting them in many different applications, such as development for the military. We have law enforcement and riot gear. We have a medical application that we're working on to apply the foam to. And the padding can go around large load carriages that are dropped from planes that could land in any sort of destination that would be dropped from a plane. So the foam can be applied to many different things, and we define ourselves as impact protection.
I love it. All right, so if G-Form was to design protective gear for real estate professionals, what features would you prioritize?
Yeah, nice one. Nice one. So let's try to work backwards here and think about what is the most hostile moment of your process. Let's see, when there's an offer made and you're getting the counter. Oh, let's go to the inspection.
Oh, that's a
You're on
good
the
one. When dad comes to the
and
inspection.
people are there. When dad comes to the inspection and wants to argue that, and he's looking at a pipe and he rips down the pipe. I gotta go back to the basics. Let's protect the head. Let's get a G-Form helmet on you.
I love it.
You guys need helmets more than anything else. Something, so a brick falls from the ceiling or one of the chimneys while you're up there shimmying around, telling these people it's good to go. You need to protect the head.
I believe it. I mean, to be honest, I often say if I had $1 for every time I hit my head, not from bricks falling, but from just like hitting my head on like ceilings going down into basements or like upstairs into capes and things along those lines. I'm not even that tall. I'm only 6 feet tall. But I mean, 5'11" and 3/4. But I mean, if I bump my head, just like on those, it happens all the time, almost daily. It's crazy.
Greg, do you have any like protective boots or ankle gear for someone who misses a step and breaks their ankle?
There is ankle guards. It's for soccer players.
Okay.
Who or even baseball players. But are you talking like do you need help walking?
No, he didn't hit the stride. I didn't play golf with him a lot at that point.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So for the Scorp, I actually right before I came to Warwick and I was still at Quidnesset back during the COVID days where you could only have one party in the house at one time, and so I was letting people in the front door and then showing them the house, letting them out the back door, and there'd be like another party at the front door to come in, and it was a very busy house. It was in Wood Estates in Coventry, and I had like a 12 o'clock tea time on a Friday afternoon. I'm trying to get all these groups through before the weekend, yada yada yada. And so basically let this group out the back, and I was running back to the front door to let the next group in. And it was a contemporary home with like a little sunken entryway. And just kind of was like looking at my phone, had a text come through, trying to get to the door, missed a step, rolled my ankle, fell hard, like full speed into the front door onto the ground. And
Big knock and a body just hits the front door.
I got up, limped around, showed the house, actually sold the house. And I went to go play golf, and I got through one hole, and I left. I couldn't do it. And I called my wife, and she goes, "You left the golf course?" And I was like, "I did. I left the golf course." She goes, "You got to go right to the hospital because you are really hurt." So I did, and I had a little bit of a cracked bone in my foot. And, yeah, I was in a boot for like 6 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if pads are going to help you there, Nick. You may have to go back to the basics.
I might have to. All right. Anyway, on to the next question. You're a big sports fan. We covered that. If you could be the CFO of any sports team, what team would it be, and what strategies would you implement?
Love that question. My mind's racing on that. I'm so mad at you. I didn't get this stuff in advance to prep for. You got me like spinning my wheels here. I'm gonna want to redo on this whole thing. But anyways, I got to go back to baseball. Right. I've been a lifelong baseball fan.
Of what team?
And of the Yankees.
I know.
Of the Yankees.
Terrible.
But that's not my answer.
Okay.
That's not my answer, though. I wouldn't want to be GM of the Yankees. I mean, what are you going to just throw dollars at everything? I mean,
true.
I'm not saying that that's what they do, but that's their cop-out. I also, at the same time, wouldn't want to be the GM of the Pirates or the Athletics or the Rays because that's just
not enough money there, right?
A fruitless endeavor, yeah. No, it's like some sort of middle market team. But when I think about the long-term kind of dynasty planning that goes into baseball and how far in advance and what kind of metrics and scouting and advanced scouting it goes into developing these players and finding these players through the pipeline. I mean, that's like, it's so nerdy when it comes to analytics and data. And that stuff is stuff that I love. I love like sifting through that.
Moneyball, right?
Justifying. Yeah, no, that is. That's one of my. I read it. No, I know no Oakland. No, can't do Oakland. That's not going to get you anywhere. Yeah, no, that stuff is like really interesting to me, and it kind of goes back to what my career is like, putting numbers together and translating that into some sort of narrative that can help foster a business decision. But as it applies to sports, yeah, baseball and the way it's all built is really interesting to me. I wish baseball had a salary cap. I mean, I know they have like a luxury tax in there now. But these rich teams it doesn't even matter for them.
No.
You know, everything that's being thrown around right now with this Soto contract, I mean, none of it matters. Every single one of these teams could afford it if they wanted to. The revenue's there, right? So they don't care about the luxury tax. But if there was ever some sort of actual restriction like they do in NHL NBA or NFL, the salary cap, I think you're gonna see much more. You see much more parity in baseball, and then it would really stretch and make the development and minor league scouting that much more important. It already is important, but at the end of the day, all these scouts for low budget teams who develop and sign these players and watch them kind of mature and be valuable, and then get traded off to the big leagues before they get hit free agency. It's just a very repetitive cycle. So I would love to be a GM of a baseball team. That's always been my
What team?
my nerded out. So I don't know, if I had to pick like a mid-market team that's cool for, it'd be like a fan base that's really deserving of something. Like, in other words, the Twins have a good fan base, have never really won anything. That'd be interesting to be a part of. I always think the Mariner fan base is pretty cool and passionate out there. I don't know. That's off the top of my head.
Wow.
I more than GM of sports. I don't even know if I was going to ask this question. I'd loved, and my wish was always to be an announcer, a play-by-play announcer,
Ooh,
or even
I can see
color.
you doing that.
I tried doing that at Quinnipiac for a little bit when I was there as a freshman, and we called like a girls' club soccer game. It did not go well. I was not that well versed in soccer to nail it, but to be a part of it and kind of like, provide, I was doing color that game, I think. It was really cool. And if I had ever had the voice or some sort of passion to actually do that, that's where my kind of interest has always laid.
I love it. All right. Question 6. If you could merge any two sports to create a new one, Scorp, what would they be and what would you name it? And don't say golf and dodgeball, or maybe you can say that if you want to. But.
Any two sports and merge it. I don't know. Yeah, I could think creatively on that one, but probably not on the spot. My brain doesn't work like that. Not this late on a Friday either.
All right, no problem. All right, next one I know you're going to be able to nail. Question number 7. Imagine you have an unlimited budget to build your dream golf course. You got 200 acres I just gave you somewhere special. Mm-hmm. What unique features and amenities would you have at the country club of Scorpio?
What are we going to have that's unique there? We're going to have there's going to be no water. Definitely no water. I'm not a fan of water on any of those courses.
No ponds? Pool or pond? Is that where you're going?
Nah, no ponds. No ponds. We're link style. No bunkers either.
No bunkers.
No pond. No hazards. No hazards. Probably just
No
It's like a
competition.
cheap ranch.
How far do I hit it off the tree? I hit everything about 280 off the tee. So probably about 16 280-yard par 4 straight away that I can drive every time. Pretty basic greens. Nothing that's too tricky. We're not the best putter, so we have to make sure that we can calibrate and make 2 putts all over the place. I don't know. Multiple beverage stands.
Oh,
Pretty
absolutely.
much beverage stands on every hole is what I
There
would
we
go
go.
for. Probably sort of some sort of maybe live come through blackjack stand or slot machine or something that you're spinning the wheel. You're spinning the wheel. You're part of the daily wheel spin that comes through every 3 holes or whatever. Stuff like that, just to kind of make it a little interesting, I guess, or add a little more gamesmanship to it. We want life and personality out there.
Absolutely.
Don't just let guys walking around and stuff like that.
What's wrong with the walking? Is that a shot at the host that's shooting the SHT?
That's a shot.
I love it. Yeah, let's have him on again.
Yeah, I joined this club, and all I'm forced to do, I had to buy a push cart, buy a light walking bag, buy shoes that are comfortable, and I'm stuck there walking all the time just to hang with these guys.
Sounds terrible. You pay all that money. You should get to ride around on the cart, smoke a cigar, and enjoy a drink.
Well, at the country club of Slocum, there's no carts, walking only. That's it.
That's terrible.
That's where I'm going. We're going to have a lot of fun in other ways, but there's going to be no carts. All right, next question. Best pop star ever.
Michael Jackson.
Whoa, okay.
He doesn't know the rules of the show.
I mean, anyone besides Tay-Tay is the wrong answer, but that's all right. I knew it wasn't going to go there. All right.
I was ready to go. I was ready to go Tay-Tay. I knew it was going to be too obvious.
All right,
I just watched.
What's the reason for MJ?
I mean, it's not it's kind of obvious. No MJ reference needed here, but he's the greatest of all time. Between lyrics, dance moves, delivery, performance, there's no one better.
He's the king of pop,
He's the
baby.
king of pop.
King of
The
pop.
king of pop.
What's your favorite Michael Jackson song?
Thriller
Oh,
and
wow.
Beat It.
Okay. At my wedding, I said to the DJ, as soon as we're done with like the mother-son dance and the father-daughter dance, first song that you play is "Don't Stop Till You Get Enough" by Michael Jackson
Nice.
to get the dance floor going. It worked.
Uh-huh.
All right, I love it. Next question, real estate trivia. I'm going to give you some acronyms, and I want you to tell me what they mean. I've got what do we have here? 5?
4.
4 acronyms. I'm going to guess that you get 3 of them correct. That might be high. 2. I'm going to say 2. All right.
Okay.
MLS.
Give him a hint. You gotta give him the hint.
Hint, not Major League Soccer, but just as competitive.
No, I know that. Blank listing service. I'm just trying to think of what the M stands for.
You should get a half point for that.
It's pretty close. I'll give you a half.
Nah, blanks on the M. What's the M stand for?
Multiple listing service.
Multiple.
All right, next
Multiple
one.
listing
CMA. CMA, not a country music award, but it will help you win the real estate equivalent of a Grammy.
Nope, nothing on CMA.
Comparative market analysis. Or competitive market analysis.
That's a tough
would have
one.
been a
That's a
word.
tough one.
Just you guys are all nerds. Just say comps. Just say comps. What are the comps?
I love it.
Don't give me those CMA.
All right, I'm hoping you get this one being a financial guy. Pity, P-I-T-I. Hint, it's what you pay every month, but no one ever thinks about the I.
Say it again. P-I.
P-I-T-I.
T-Y?
Pity. P-I-T-I. Yep.
What's the mortgage? No, it's PMI. I got nothing on pity. I never heard that one before.
All right, that's what your mortgage payment is made up of. It's principal, interest, taxes, and insurance.
That was dirty.
say
You
that.
just did him dirty.
Just say that. Now you're making me look like making me look like a simp here.
All right, Greg, he's going to lob one up for you here so you can end with a win.
Last one. FSBO. FSBO. Hint, it's for people who think they don't need us until they do.
Spell it out again.
FSBO. FSBO. It's for people who think they don't.
Full service buying offer.
Scorp, I thought you were going to do better than that. For sale by owner. Good effort, though.
For sale by owner.
Good job. Good effort. Appreciate it.
The hint got me in that direction, but I was never gonna finish it.
No problem. All right.
Hey, you guys are really cool, by the way. Really cool. I can't wait to get on the finance podcast and give you my acronyms.
I love it. Absolutely.
I'll sit there making you look like dopes.
I was just curious.
Have fun with that, Nick.
We got to go on. We're a team. All right. And finally, the legit question. Give us the best advice you've ever received, Scorp.
Best advice is in coming from not the most professional of guys I've worked with was just get it done.
Love it.
Get shit done.
Action sells everything.
At the end of the day, that's just a cop out, I think, just to say, yeah, do your work. Obviously, you got to get shit done. But in another way, especially when you're younger, it's like, do what you got to do. Don't hesitate. Don't spin your wheels. Don't not do it. Get it done. And if you can't get it done, ask how to get it done. But it has to get done.
I love it.
That kind of resonated, just to say, inaction is no action.
Action solves everything. I love it. All right, cool. Appreciate it, Scorp.
I appreciate everything you guys are doing. Keep it up. You guys are awesome. Love the podcast.
Thanks, Scorp. Appreciate it, pal. Have a good weekend.
Thank you.
Thanks, Greg.
All right, guys.
Bye.
See you, JT. Have a good day.
You too.
All right. My favorite section of the pod, no doubt about it, super real estate related. Tons of value is the hypothetical question. Tons of value. The wild card section. Yeah, let's go. So let's go. First question. I'm going to announce this question. I'm going to ask Nate for his answer first because he's so cerebral. I want to hear what he has to share on it.
Sure.
Start. And then go from there. So if you were to have a teleporter or a time machine, Nate, which would you choose?
That's a really good question, Nick.
Well, you actually came up with it, so
It's a very, very good question.
way to pat yourself on the back.
No. It's just a really. I actually didn't come up with this. I actually maybe one of these I did. One of them I Googled for sure.
Just answer the question.
I do time machine.
Wow.
Why?
Yeah. Time machine. Well, because you could go back. What the is going on here? Why am I on trial here? What's going on? Is there a problem? You're mad at me or something?
No, you're great, pal.
No, there's like this attitude.
He called
I
me
don't
buddy
understand.
earlier.
There's a little bit of tension between the two of you.
Yeah, I don't understand the tension. No, it's not just between the two of us. It's you too. It's you too. Because you're like, I'll let you do it because you're so cerebral. Like, it's so passive aggressive.
We love you, Nate.
He's mad. He's mad because we're finally fighting back and defending ourselves.
No, but it's not even. You're not. It's there's no a clever repartee. It's just like passive aggressive.
Now we're just dumb again.
It's just no. It's just passive aggressive. Like, well, why don't you go first? Because you're so smart. If you're gonna take shots, take shots at me. Say something funny.
I think that was great.
Don't be passive aggressive and pouty about it.
Go first because you're so smart.
Yeah.
I think that's great.
Oh, which one would you do? Time machine? Oh, that was a
We
dumb
have a
answer.
lot of F-bombs in this
I
episode.
didn't say it's a dumb answer.
I'll bleep them out.
I have a
didn't
clarifying question.
Hold on. I didn't
I
say.
want a do-over of the question.
I didn't say dumb answer. I just said why.
Yeah, but the way you said it. It was
I'm
the way you
It,
said
it
it.
had some attitude. It had an edge to it.
Absolutely
I'm
had some venom in it.
curious.
It had some venom
Whenever
in it.
we give an answer, we want to know why.
I have a question about the question itself.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you.
Now, with the time machine,
yeah.
can you? I know obviously you can travel back and forward in time, correct?
Yes.
Can you choose where you're going in time,
Yes.
like location wise?
I would think so. Yeah.
Then I think that's a no-brainer.
The
Question.
time machine, right?
Absolutely, because you can go to any location and at any point in time
Right.
whenever you want to, versus just go to any location whenever you want to. So it's double the benefit.
Double the benefits. Now, the pitfalls of a time
Do you get
machine.
what I'm saying?
I think that's cheating for the sake of the question.
Okay, so then let's clarify the question.
I understand what you're saying, but I think it's cheating.
We're
But
setting
it doesn't make
parameters. We're setting parameters here.
Because
So
it makes a difference.
But it does
Yeah.
away with the concept of the question. If you can just get both with one.
Well, if I go back in time
duh,
or forward in
we're gonna
time, am
pick
I
that one.
right here in Rhode Island, in Warwick, at this office doing a podcast
how about
with
this?
you,
How about
Jimos?
this?
Or is it?
If you go back in time,
Yep.
To a particular moment.
you have to at least go back 1,000 years or more.
Christ.
Teleport.
Teleport. That's the thing. It would be incredibly dangerous.
Yes.
Like the hygiene's terrible.
It's
There's no
awful.
there's no vaccines.
So I'm going to say
Yeah.
teleport. I'll give you a little more context because your most valuable asset is time. And if you can teleport, cut down on all that commuting and flying and all that. Boom,
You're very
save time.
pragmatic about your answers.
Yes.
Yeah. There's little to no imagination, but it's
Off.
see, that's a clapback.
That's like the 11th F-bomb today. Can you boys clean it up? This is a family podcast.
I apologize.
Family
I'm sorry. I'm
podcast.
sorry. We gotta shake. We gotta just like how about this?
I feel like we should do this over.
we'll
This whole
tie.
section?
Yeah.
I think it's been gold so
No,
far.
I think it's been really, really good. I think
You're
we
going to
should.
need a lot of bleeps.
I think we need to go back to the last podcast, though. A little off topic.
What?
There was a lot of good things to clip there. I just haven't edited them yet. So I think Nate should go back. I think maybe some killer reels from that last
We should
yeah.
have, we should have like 1 to 2 a day.
I agree.
1 to 2 reels a day.
Yeah.
With AI, that's nothing.
No. It's not. It's not about not being able to do it. It's not about not being able to do it. We can do it, but you reach a point of oversaturation where you're
Point.
showing up on my feed twice a day.
Well, you don't
plus
show up on
all the
everyone's feed every
listings.
time. Though. That's the thing.
Do you know why we're on your feed twice a day?
Because people.
Because you work here.
Well, okay,
Your
so the
algorithm says you wanna
tailors it
see us.
The algorithm tailors it somewhat, but my wife doesn't work here, and you guys show up on her feed all day, and so she has to like. Sometimes people mute you, and
But-
then they don't see any of your posts.
But our middle of the road follow.
Did your wife mute us?
No. No, she didn't. She didn't. She
muted
follows you
us.
and she likes all your stuff and she responds to the polls
Oh,
too.
she does.
She
She does
does.
actually
She
like
does.
all our
She
stuff.
does.
I was going to say she muted us.
We put up.
I
up
thought she was
good
coming
stuff.
last night. I
We
was
put up
excited
good
to have her
stuff.
come by. You said she was going to come.
She felt self-conscious because there was no other significant others here, and she was like, "I don't want to impose."
So what?
You know,
It's not imposing.
yeah, but you know what I mean. Like if your wife showed up and there was no other wives there, she'd be like, "I kind of feel like weird about it." I'm saying there's a. I'll do whatever you guys want. I don't care. If you want to do 2 reels a day, two podcast reels a day on the podcast,
It's a lot, John.
I feel like that's
what
a
a day.
lot. You know?
It's like a happy medium of like 3 a week.
Yeah, I feel like a couple a week is good. Like 3 weeks
4 a
fine.
week.
All right, back to the question. Teleporting. I think we're all teleporting, right? Except for Nate's time machining.
Well, what if? Okay, would it change your mind if I said you only had to go back? I don't know, a couple 100 years.
Wait.
Can you go forward too?
You can go forward. No,
I don't
right?
wanna
I would
go
think you'd
that
have to
far
go back.
forward.
I think you'd have to go back.
Only back?
Because if you can go forward, then it's like that does feel like a little bit of a cop out. But then how would you get back to your time? You can
have
go
the
forward.
ability to-
You can go forward, but you can only go forward to the present day or backwards in time. Is an arbitrary rule. I
Oh, so
just
you can
made.
go back or then come.
And then come back to
You
this
can come
to
home.
modern day. Yes, because I feel like if you can go back and forth, it just like obviously blows teleporting out of the water.
I think I still lean teleport.
You still think you wouldn't go back like I don't know to generations past and be like, hey guys, what you're gonna want to do is invest in a certain set of stocks, and you're gonna want, here's a great idea.
But then present day is all messed up. It's like Back to the Future, you know?
Yeah.
It's like
like what are you gonna do? It's the butterfly
Exactly.
effect.
Yeah.
Oh. What do you think, John? You think you'd fiddle with time to benefit yourself financially, fiscally, your family? Maybe make a name for yourself.
I mean, you
outside
could
the real
you
estate
could
world?
get your ancestors to make such generational wealth.
Yeah, but like I said,
That's what I'm saying.
for all if they made generational wealth, maybe they're not creating you down the road. Maybe you're not even in existence.
It's messed up.
Maybe they're
Or they squander it. They could squander all the
Exactly.
money. That happened a lot.
yeah.
I'm just saying.
I mean,
if-
I
Maybe
said
they make
teleport
poor
from the
decisions
beginning.
with that money, and all of a sudden they're God knows where.
yeah, that's true.
All right. Well, I said teleport from the beginning, and I'm sticking with it.
I do too. I'm kind of sick of this question. Next question. What would you do if all jobs paid the same amount of money and you could pick whatever career you wanted?
Am I going first again?
Yeah, you're so smart.
I would still see. This is what I mean.
That's a little much, John.
This is
That's
this
a
thing.
little
This is what I'm
much.
talking about. What is that about?
I don't know.
What is that
You
about?
could have let it die. You had to bring it back
You had
up.
to bring it back.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just.
He says I agitate him.
You guys are gonna fight one day.
Today when I was interviewing him,
Yeah.
it was unbelievable the questions that he was asking me.
Really?
It was like he's like, why am I sitting up straight instead of leaning back in my chair? I'm like, well, because you were doing a professional interview for the team recruiting video. He's like, yeah, but when I talk to people, I'd like to kick my feet back, and I'm like, okay, but that
Really,
doesn't
dude?
make sense in the context. And then he's like, there's chairs in the background of my office. I feel like those chairs are just random. Like, why are there random chairs in there? I'm
So
like, it's
there
gonna
were-
look fine on camera. He goes, yeah, but why would there be two random chairs in my office? I'm like, because it's an office, John. I wanted to wring his neck. I'm like, how does Jen do it? It's unbelievable. And then he goes, oh, what are we filming again? I was like, oh, I booked it and I sent you the script. He's like, is it a script? Or I'm like, yeah, I wrote things for you to say.
Is Nate gonna quit live on the podcast?
Hey, buddy.
unreal.
Do you feel better over there, pal?
I'm starting to feel better. I'm
All right,
starting to
just
feel
let it
honestly
out.
a little better. Yeah.
Well,
I'm gonna let it
I
out on
start
you.
talking, and he was like, more of like a casual interview. And then what did I say? You're going to tell me it's too serious. And he told me to stop being so playful.
I told him, I was like, make it a little bit more straight laced, because he was like, yeah, we offer like great things here, and I'm like, all right, but tone it down a little bit.
Yeah.
And then he still
so
sounded very
aggressive, isn't he?
buoyant and stuff.
Yes.
No, the opposite. I wanted him
Aggressive?
to sound a little bit more aggressive because I said, go do your best like corporate shark,
Yeah.
and he talked just like a normal person. He's so
I
like
don't think it's good to be a corporate
bubbly.
shark
He's
on a video
but
about
he
attraction.
came out just saying like, hey, this is what we offer. This is the thing. And it sounded very neutral, very good. And before he was very like bubbly.
Yeah.
And it was strange because usually he's such a Debbie Downer. He's like a big rain cloud,
Honestly.
like Eeyore. And all of a sudden in this
He
video,
just called you Eeyore.
we're in a fight. I'm mad at you. I'm mad at you. No, we're good.
So there were two random chairs, like on half of my office in the background, and I'm like, "Aren't those gonna look funny?" He's like, "You agitate me so much."
It's
It's a fair question.
all the questions compounded up to that point. I wanted to absolutely just like shoot myself in the face. So what would you do if all? Yeah, no, I would still want to direct and make movies. It's what I love to do. I mean, a huge part of the incentive is that it pays well. But yeah, I would want to do the same thing. It's what I love. So absolutely, I would keep it the same. But like, I don't know, in another life, like, would you be like a sardine fisherman because it's like simpler, or is there anything that you did that you wanted to do as a kid that you were like, that might not be the most lucrative thing, but it might be really fun and gratifying and creative and different?
When I was young, the first job that I wanted was an oceanographer.
That's super cool.
Yeah, so that was kind of my first thing I wanted to do. I do love sharks. I love being out in the water. So I wouldn't mind.
Okay, this
you know,
makes so
I could be.
much
What's the guy? Greg Scorpio. I could be Greg Scorpio. You know, I could do that. go around and tag sharks.
That's
off
why
the
you're
gate.
not afraid of sharks and you're more afraid of grizzly bears because you understand the sharks.
I wouldn't go that far. I'm
You
not saying
do.
I'm
You're
the
one
shark
of-
whisperer.
You're
or
one
anything.
of them. You're a corporate shark.
So that would be up there. I actually wouldn't mind that. I love golf, but I don't see a lot of careers in golf that actually attract me much at all. It's kind of a cop out too, but I do love what I do. I enjoy
Yeah.
it. I still love calling a buyer to let them know their offer was accepted. I love helping a seller sell a property for more than they ever thought they would and getting big fat checks. I do enjoy handing over keys and having smiles and happy customers. I mean, I do actually love the impact that we can make on lives. So that is kind of a cop out answer. I can't think of
It's
anything.
not a cop out.
I
You're
would-
just happy with what you do.
I do love what I do.
Even if the financial incentive wasn't necessarily there, it was just like you kind of get paid.
I mean, if
flat.
everybody was getting paid the same amount,
let's say everyone made $50,000 a year.
and you could live comfortably off.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no other option to make more money elsewhere. I still would enjoy it. I
Still
mean,
do it, yeah.
I mean, I'm not. I mean, I like some other things too. Like I mentioned, I think it'd be cool to be Greg Scorpio out there tagging sharks. That'd be fun. But other than that, I can't think of a lot of other things that I want to do.
That's solid.
Aw.
You have a naturally hairless body, so I feel like you'd be a really good swimmer.
I have a hair.
Is something I just made up.
I'm like, I have a.
Okay. All right.
Angela
all
said you have a dolphin's body. Anyways, so John, what about your answer?
I feel like I want to be like the GM of a football team.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
I would enjoy that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. What?
You're so annoying.
Why?
No, that's a good one.
I
That's
love
a really good
sports.
answer.
I love sports. I like there are dates in the off season that excite me more
I
than
hope Nate's facial expression makes it onto the final cut when he just heard you say that.
yeah. Put a little box with your own bitchy face over my shoulder.
That made me so
I
angry.
love sports, and there are days like when free agency starts, the draft. I get equally excited about those as I do like the Super Bowl.
Okay.
I like the off season stuff.
I love it too. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't think it was as bad an answer as Nate thought, but I just enjoyed the little cat fight that's going on. So
It's not a terrible answer. It's a good. It's fine.
Whoa.
No, it's fine.
You want to be a movie director? Like you're passionate about that.
Yeah.
I love sports.
You want to be the GM of what football team? You think?
I mean, probably the Pats.
Okay, cool. That's solid. That's really solid.
If
Buddy.
we hadn't reached our quota on F bombs, I'd be going off right now.
I think that's a solid answer.
Okay.
All right, segueing into our newest segment here, educating John.
John's film education.
John's film education.
oh, so this is the next homework assignment.
That's correct. Yeah.
I was actually I saw this.
I thought there were 3.
there are.
Oh, never mind. I
Scroll
didn't
to
scroll.
the next page.
All right, everybody relax.
We can't both gang up on him. That'd be bad.
I've only seen one of the 3.
I love you, John. You've only seen one of the 3.
Yes.
Good.
Yeah.
That's great.
Want to bet you know which one too.
Why
aren't they in order of release date? Is there a reason?
Yes.
Okay.
Is this the order you
I
want
know
us to
why.
watch?
I know
today?
why. I know.
Yeah. Which one have you seen? Die Hard.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. White Christmas, classic, fun family movie, musical numbers, that kind of thing. It's like what everyone thinks of when they think of just like a really nice, heartwarming holiday movie. Yeah, it's a good movie. That is going to be a fun one to start with. Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. It's got Robert Downey Jr. and Val Kilmer in it. It's a murder mystery that takes place around Christmas.
Did not know this.
Yeah, Robert Downey Jr. plays a kind of like a has-been writer in California, and he gets embroiled in this big murder plot. And Val Kilmer plays, I think, a detective, and they have to kind of solve this murder together. It's written by Shane Black, who also wrote the Lethal Weapon movies, the other guys. Or The Nice Guys? The Nice Guys. This movie with Russell Crowe and Ryan Gosling that was really good. And yeah, it's a really funny movie. And then Die Hard, of course. 1988's Die Hard is my favorite Christmas movie, bar
Great
none.
Christmas movie.
Fantastic movie. John, have you seen any of these films?
Nope.
You have not seen Die Hard?
Wow. So I'm glad that I put that on there then.
I can't believe there's a Christmas movie named Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
Yeah.
But yet you can believe there's one called Die Hard?
I've heard the great because I've heard the great debate over the years. So
Okay.
I can't wait to see what the listeners think when we do a poll. Is it or is it not a Christmas movie? And I will share my thoughts.
I'm willing to bet that the results are about 70-30 in favor of it being a Christmas movie.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
would think so.
Yeah.
At this point, people have come around. So yeah,
believe
that's the
so.
assignment for our upcoming holiday.
So this
film
is the order.
season. Yes, sir.
All
Okay.
right.
I'm excited for that.
Well,
Looking
roger
forward to it. All right, next up, we have the market update. So we are looking at October stats. This is comparing Rhode Island stats in October of 2024 with October of 2023 to see what's going on here in our local market. Now, let's shoot over and take a peek at Rhode Island single-family stats across the entire state. We saw a very flat number, John, on the number of new listings this October versus last.
Very flat.
1,012 this year versus 1,005 last year during that time period. Total sales, about a 5.5% jump, 5.43% increase at 680 sales in October of this year. Still seeing big price point gains and very similar numbers to what CoreLogic was saying earlier about the 9% year-over-year increase. Yeah. And the average sales price in Rhode Island for single-family homes, this is a pretty wild number. The average sales price, $648,476, according to our math. The median sales price, $485,000. That represented an 11.5%, 11.49% increase year over year. Average price per square foot almost 11%, $388 on the average price per square foot. Homes were selling at about 100% of their list price, and in 31 days, which marked a 6% decrease compared to this time last year.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think the two relate, the sales and the days on market. While new listings were fairly flat, you see total sales up about 5.5% and the days on market down. All makes sense. But interesting. You know, there's all that talk about an election cycle, people waiting, but maybe some signs of people moving, maybe some consumer optimism there. Because while inventory was flat, people were buying up the inventory that was there.
Yeah, I'd say most of these sales probably went into contract, probably middle of August to middle of beginning of September, somewhere in that time frame. So that was, I think we had a very busy August. If you look back on it, we had a very busy August. So next month's stats will actually be very interesting, in my opinion, when you factor in how the election may have impacted those. So. All right, Rhode Island condo stats. New listings up 37.5%. That was a large jump. Big increase there on condos. Total sales up over 15%, but we saw a bit of a dip in condo prices. That's very interesting. Tell me about that, John.
Well, it's interesting to look at. You see the new listings up almost 40%. Obviously, the sales are going to be up. But with that many new listings, people aren't going to have to fight over the same condo as much. So you don't see the prices skyrocketing with those bidding wars.
I just got a text from Scorp. I want to redo. I need the questions in advance. I thought he did good. I thought he did well.
I thought he did good as well.
Yeah, for on the fly, that's tough. I didn't give him layups. I mean, we're not going to let him off easy,
I mean, the only real test questions were the acronyms.
Yeah, and
everything else was about his life.
The funny part is, no one knows that shit other than us, and we talk about it like it's common knowledge. Like the realtors are out there, like CMAs and MLSs, and
right.
How about you talk like a normal human being? It's like 'cause people don't know what it means.
Yeah.
That's really the whole point of that whole segment. So I'm kind of glad he didn't know him. Hopefully,
very revealing. Then.
Hopefully, the realtors who listen to this podcast understand that you should probably stop talking like a jackass. But all right.
Making waves over here.
All right. Multifamilies, new listings up a little bit over 12%. But contrary to condos, even though listings were up, total sales, big jump over 17%, and prices about 12.5% and 16% increases year over year. Average multifamily sold for $614 last
crazy.
month. That's insane.
I know we've talked about it before, but I mean, 10 years ago,
couldn't give them away.
They were
oh my God,
$250,000, if that.
Can I go back? I want a time machine and go back and buy all the multifamilies from 2008, 9, 10.
Right.
My goodness. Jeepers creepers. That's where you got to go. All right, Warwick, single-family stats. Saw a dip in new listings, about 17%. Total sales, although, were up almost 15%. Average sales price was $482 in Warwick. The median sales price was $435. Approximate numbers here. We're pushing through, and Nate's got to get his wife. The average price per square foot was about $347. That's up about 9%. Homes sold at about 102% of their asking price, and a big dip in days on market in Warwick, down about 33.33%.
Follows the new listings.
It does, because it's all about
supply and demand.
Nice job, John. Way to be there. Kent County single-family stats, basically flat listings, down about 1%, 1.35. Total sales were up almost 20, 152 versus 127. Average sales price up about 6%. Median sales price up a little bit over 9%. And the average price per square foot over 11%. Average days on market, another big dip, 16.6% down. That's the story of what's going on in the local market.
Good stuff.
Very good stuff.
Well,
I feel like
boys.
I had something else I wanted to talk about. I had it on the tip of my tongue.
Well, cat got your tongue. So, anyways, it's a good one, boys. What do you think?
Oh, I knew I wanted to ask.
Go ahead.
Oh,
yeah,
boy.
no, it's fine.
Real quick question: When's it the right time to start decorating for Christmas?
Well, he's definitely not going to like my answer. But mine's a little unusual this year. So normally, the true answer
Yes.
is after
The day
Thanksgiving.
After Thanksgiving.
Correct.
That was my traditional
Correct.
date.
Yeah.
Yes.
Usually the day after Thanksgiving is when I'll actually start putting stuff out. But
But
because
Thanksgiving's late this year.
it is. Well, so I'm putting my tree up tomorrow. Because
a little aggressive.
easy. My wife's due December 1st. We're thinking there's a fair chance we're not even home for Thanksgiving.
Now let's
And I
rewind
don't-
this for a second.
I don't want my 3-year-old to miss out on the Christmas season.
You have a fake Christmas tree, and you're saying that you're going to be so overloaded with a new baby that you won't be able to pop together 3 poles and have a Christmas tree?
Do you know? This is going to take more time than I thought. You know how OCD I am, right?
You OCD? Get out of here.
Setting up the tree is not a half-assed effort of clicking 3 poles together. I go branch by branch, piece by piece, and make sure I fluff the needles.
I do the same thing.
Arrange them to perfection so it is a full
Honestly?
symmetrical tree. This takes
I
probably
can't make fun of him for this. I do the
It
exact
My
probably-
same
wife and I
thing.
slap it up, and it's,
You do?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
It
we
looks
spread,
good.
It looks
we
good.
spread out the
Oh, really?
branches.
This is
and-
like a
yeah.
5-hour back-breaking effort because it's like every little piece has to be fluffed, and then you stand back, and then you rearrange it, and then you're like, oh no, there's a gap there. Where can I pull from? And you move it around, and then you go and you put your hands like deep inside to like move the other things around and
Yeah.
fill in the gap. So when you look through it, you're not seeing space. It's a
Right.
big effort.
I think,
It's
yeah.
a solid 5 hours.
If all jobs paid the same, you'd be a good fluffer.
I'd be a great fluffer.
So the other person who wants to get on as a guest was Billy Allman Jr. And he was saying he should have canceled his board meeting that he had to go to because and then Scorp's like, I want to redo, needed questions in advance. And then Billy's like, an ambush interview. We didn't ambush the guy.
Not at all.
No.
That's not like we came up to on the street with a camera in his face.
No,
and said,
I thought it was
"Answer these
great.
questions."
I thought it was great.
Why is Billy afraid of an ambush interview now?
No, Billy will come on, I'm sure. Yeah, we'll get him on here.
We
So-
also don't want it to be scripted.
No.
because that's awkward.
Yeah.
He's gonna come on and be like, "Well, 7 years ago."
Why did I hear the natural reaction?
yeah.
All right, so we got to come up with some more acronyms for Billy. He'll probably do a study of all of them. I think the point, though, is honestly that we shouldn't use those acronyms in our conversation. Anyway,
agree.
we're
That's
backtracking.
fine, yeah.
My gut is day after Thanksgiving is the right day to decorate for Christmas.
Are you looking for permission to do it earlier this year with a late Thanksgiving?
I might go earlier.
Go for it.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
do it.
I'm decorating tomorrow because of the unusual
I
circumstances.
don't feel
here.
like it's the holiday season yet. Last night helped me get into it with the team giving, the Friendsgiving there. It
Yeah.
felt a little bit more like the holidays, but up until 4 o'clock yesterday afternoon, I'm like, it still feels like Halloween season to me.
It doesn't help that it's fluctuating between like
70
50 to
degrees.
7 degrees.
You
every
have
day,
to
yeah.
turn it around though. Put up some decorations, get in the spirit, play some Christmas music, maybe throw on a Christmas movie.
I'm
I'll try.
of the mindset that you just can't force these things. You got to feel it out.
You got to feel it out.
You just
Okay,
gotta
big
feel
guy.
it out.
All right, rate the podcast.
I was gonna rate it a 10, and then John made that last little snide remark. Go ahead, rate it. Doesn't get a rating from me.
No rating at all.
No, I'm not giving it a rating. I'm not giving it a rating.
Wow.
I refuse.
Okay.
I'm going to give it a 9.3.
I mean, he thrives off animosity is the problem.
He's
Yeah.
sick.
You don't think it was a great podcast?
I think it was a little too scattered. There were way too many F-bombs. I think it's going to be very challenging for Nate to piece together.
Oh, you don't care about that though.
So I
As long
do.
as
I
I'm-
worry
I'm
about you
making
there, big guy.
content. Oh,
So I'm going to give it a.
Oh, where's the content? It takes 3
7-2.
hours.
I'm going to give it a 9. We had a non-real estate guest on. I thought he did a great job. We had
He
some
did,
good
he did.
questions.
He did.
We
Greg
had
was, awesome.
He did
We had
good.
some good banter back and forth. You guys practically almost fist fought.
That's fine.
So, I mean, I really thought Nate was about to quit, get up and walk out of that room at one point.
No, that was
so-
healthy. I think we need to have him scream again because I think he felt better.
Oh,
after.
that is not me screaming. By the way, that's
Well, let's hear it.
Yeah, you don't want to hear me screaming.
Maybe turn the mics down, but let's hear it.
No, it's fine. It's like I put in a lot of effort. You know, I got the podcast that I'm doing, which you guys have talked about doing for years, and then I've got all these things that are on my plate. I'm doing all the time, and then I get little snide remarks like, "Where's Nate been the last 18 months? Like he hasn't been doing a podcast."
Who said that?
Who said that?
Nick did.
What?
You did.
Where?
You did. You did when I said the interview looked good. John's interview. You said, "Oh, where have you been the last 18
earlier
months?"
today?
Yeah, implying that I haven't been doing anything the last 18 months.
So hold on.
Unbelievable.
Hold on.
It takes me days to edit this podcast.
Then I have a question.
What?
That
You're just as culpable as him.
I was going to say that put you over the edge. Why is everything coming at me?
Because you just agitate me. All your stuff adds up. Nick makes little snide remarks, then he plays it off with a smile, because he's got those boyish good looks. I can't deny it. He's good, and you also, you're fine looking, but you just lately we've been on each other's nerves. I think,
Have
and that's
we?
why, I don't know.
Sorry,
We
I
talk
think
about this
that's-
off the podcast.
I
This
think
is
you
not.
have a very one-sided argument going on over there.
I think we need to sit down and
I
have
think you guys need to
have
have
a
a little-
drink,
yes.
have some cigars.
I'll go
And
for
then-
some cigars.
Is there
Yeah.
actually some tension here?
No, well, listen. Here's what I think. I think that we
think
should should tie our hands behind our back and then run at each other full force and drop kick each other in the chest and see who survives. I think that would really solve. Because I can kick hard. Anyways, thanks everyone.
Nate wants to kill me.
What were these
I
numbers?
don't want to kill
I give
you.
it.
I don't want to kill
I'm
you.
increasing my rating. I'm going 9.7. So that was great.
You both are great, and I love working here. So my rating
Nate,
will
all
be.
I was saying about that content was
All
that
right, let's wrap it.
you said, like, look at how nice this looks. I'm like, yeah, that looks really nice. Where's that been the last 18 months?
implying that nothing we've done has looked nice the last 18
Weren't
months.
you saying how much better it looks than everything else?
I'm sorry. This podcast looks fantastic.
All right, wrap this.
Thank you guys for watching. We appreciate it. Check us out on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, wherever you get your podcasts. Please like, share, and subscribe. And let everyone know, Shootin' the SHT, we are the biggest thing in real estate right now. And I'm not exaggerating when I say that.
Man, what are we doing? Love you guys. Have a great day. Thanks for listening. Appreciate it.
Thanks, y'all. And we're out.
That's a wrap on today's episode of Shootin' the SHT. Be sure to subscribe wherever you heard this podcast so you never miss a future episode. And if you enjoyed this content, please share it with others and leave us a rating and a review. Buying, selling, or want to connect with Nick and JT? Visit Slocum Home Team on Facebook and Instagram or slocumhometeam.com. We'll see you next time.